Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So I'm so excited. I'm so happy to see you here after today's break. Today is Monday, 26 May 2025. Okay, so we are gathered here to finish up our introduction in Bhagavad Gita. So we have another 4 more session. I think we try to complete this introduction in 4 days. That means today, tomorrow, and Thursday and Friday. Then after that, we're going to start begin our nectar of devotion, only nectar of devotion. And most likely the class will be either 2 or 3 classes. Now just waiting for more updates from the poll. So anyway, thank you all for coming. So let's dive into the detailed studies of introduction of Bhagavad Gita. But before that, let's do our invocation prayer. Om Ajnanaatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swaparantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapadakam Sri Gurun Vaishnam Cha Rupam Sagar Jadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidantam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidamcha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanto Radha Kanta Namustute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanuste Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Nama Om Vishnu Padai Krishna Prishtai Putale Srimadi Jaya Pataka Swamiti Namine Namacharya Padai Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaura Kada Damadaya Nagaragrama Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padai Krishna Prishtai Putale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasa Chiristarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtai Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Ti Namine Shri Varshapanavi Devi Daitai Kripabdai Krishna Sambandha Vignana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktira Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namastate Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtai Dina Tarini Rupanuga Viruddha Prasiddhanta Tvanta Harini Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtai Vipralambra Sambodhe Padam Pujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidanandanamine Gaura Shakti Sarupai Rupanuga Varaide Gaura Virbhava Bhumi Estam Nidasa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarubhama Sri Jagannathaita Namaha Vanchakal Paturubhescha Kripa Sindhu Vevacha Paditanam Pavinibhyo Vaishnavi Bhayo Namo Namah Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Shri Gaura Bhaktavranda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hari Om Tat Sat. Okay, so we continue our discussion on the topic. Okay, we're going to last week we ended here. As long as we do not give up this propensity of lording over the material nature, there is no possibility of returning back to the kingdom of the Sanatana Dharma. All right. So just a recap, what we have heard, we read last week, that we understand that as long we don't give up this propensity of want to become the Lord, want to become the master over the material nature, there is no possibility of returning to the kingdom of the Supreme or Sanatan Dharma. That eternal kingdom which is never destroyed. All right, like this material world is always destroyed, easily destroyed. But that eternal kingdom is never destroyed and can be approached by one who is not bewildered. That means only can be approached by one who is not bewildered by the attraction. That means they are not get carried away by the attraction of these material, what they call attraction of the false material enjoyment. So what Prabhupada used here, the word false material enjoyment. So in this enjoyment, in this material world is actually false. All right. It is just like we are giving a child, say like when the like a girls especially, yeah, they'll be the mother will be cutting vegetable and everything. They come say, "Mommy, I want to do with you." So the mummy will buy for them a toy kitchen. All right, a toy kitchen. Okay. So they should be having so much of fun cooking in the toy kitchen and all this. So it's not. So similarly, these material kind of enjoyment, see, sometimes, okay, like you feel very excited about something, you're excited about some stuff, you're buying a new car or new house, you feel some kind of happiness, which is apart from this devotional service. All right. So we should understand that is a false material enjoyment. But if we dovetail, we dedicate everything to Krishna, then we enjoy it. All right. It is called the real material enjoyment. Okay. For instance, I buy a new house, but I dedicate to Krishna. I say, Krishna, you are the Lord of the house, and I am the servant in the house. Okay. So we are taking care of the Krishna's house. So that means we understand. That means we don't have that kind of false identification, says that this is my house, I'm the owner of this house, and all these kind of things. Okay. Other than that, everything that you want to enjoy using your sense perception, you want to enjoy your eyes, enjoy your ears, enjoy your nose, because your enjoyment is actually by your senses. Yes or not? All right. When you see a beautiful, say a very beautiful person, you're so attracted, so pretty, or so handsome. It is the attraction of your eyes. It is a satisfaction for your eyes. You cannot put your hand like that and just try to like feel it, like to like feel, like your hand, your sense of touch doesn't enjoy or appreciate the beauty of a person. It's your eyes. Okay. When you want to hear some beautiful song, you can't hear through your nose. You cannot close your ears and try to nose. No. When you want to smell something very nice, it's only through the nose. You can't do it through your tongue. And you want to taste something very very tasty, you have to do it through your tongue, not through your eyes, or through your hand. So like that. So all that different perception, your eyes, your nose, your ears, your sense of touch and everything, it is separately situated in your body. Right? But when we see the enjoyment, it looks like it's a wholesome enjoyment. It's a wholesome enjoyment. All right? Because it's like overall. But actually, the one that enjoys is separate. Okay, the ones that enjoy, they're separate. See, like I'm talking to you, my eyes is seeing you, my tongue is talking. It is two different entities. And my hand is moving, the working senses are moving. It is another entity. But it works in a wholesome, it works in a what they call in a complete thing. Okay, just like the car. The engine has a different function. The gearbox have a different function. The horn have a different, everything a different function, but all grouped together, and they function as a team. If any of these function works failed, the car will be failed. Similarly, any of these function in the body failed, the person even suffers more miserably. Why they suffer? Because they cannot enjoy the sense. If say a person is blind, all right, he don't have the sense to enjoy seeing beautiful things in life. All right. When the person is deaf, he cannot see. That means it's all sense enjoyment that we are deprived of. We are deprived of. So that means all that enjoyment that we see, I mean, what I do, since you're doing journal, try to write down. I am seeing something and I am enjoying something. Right? What actually enjoying? Which part of your body is actually enjoying? Which senses are enjoying? Okay. So when you really look at it, it is actually totally not worth it. Not worth it. But when we engage ourselves to Krishna, all right, like yesterday in Ipoh, we had this family day. We had a family day. And of course, many people had different opinion. They have different opinion about sense perception, different opinion. All right. I think we should do this way. I think we should do that way. And as usual, when in any organization, any group, there won't be any very pleasurable situation. There'll be kind of anger. There'll be kind of not satisfied and everything. So my chairman decided, let's do a family day. And family day, we were wondering, no, how are we going to do the family day when everyone is so adverse? It's like so like not happy to each other and everything. But we did. So we went there. We had all kind of games. We have all kinds of games. We see the children playing, everybody, adult, even elderly. All were coming down, all became a children, all start playing, you know. And how we played while chanting Hare Krishna. And while we were chanting Hare Krishna, we were even like musical chair. Suddenly the speaker was not functioning, so we play live kirtan and stop musical chair. So we dovetail our childishness. You know, when we at adult, we like to go to the field and start playing is childishness. So we dovetail, we engage our childishness that's within us before. Now we have got lost it because as we grew up, we get old. So in the service of Krishna, we put Krishna in the middle, and all the world was singing and dancing and having so much of fun. There's a Chinese tourist came. They were just looking at us, wondering what we are doing. And we just said, come over, and they came. And they were dancing, and especially the lady and the both husband and the wife, you know. They were dancing in ecstasy. I think we were having kirtan for half an hour to 45 minutes. They were dancing. They just join and have so much of fun. And after that, they just check what is ISKCON and what is Hare Krishna is all about and see how the attraction comes to them. You know, there are so many things. There's so many attractive things in Malaysia. There's so many attractive things in Malaysia. The park and they were as a tourist, the China tourists are very rich. You know, there's so many things, there's so many food to eat. There's so many there are a lot of things to enjoy here. But they just came to Taman Dihar just for the children to have some fun, to let them go run around and sweat. But they got so attracted to Hare Krishna, and they joined us and they would dance. And the boys the young boys were eating that prasadam, eating cupcakes. I thought the Chinese are quite pantang, they cannot tolerate Malaysian food. So yesterday is the day everybody became childish. Everybody became childish. Everybody forget their whatever. Even the China devotee, they also, not China devotee, the China tourists, they also broke the barrier of being like, people are having party, we go in and eat paise, how to eat, I feel like shy, They broke all barriers. And you know what? Everybody like as though merge into one. Everybody never had any separate ideology. Everybody never had anything separate, what they call, thinking, oh, this is my prasadam, is it? Nothing. Okay, when we talk about our devotee, but when we talk about others, everyone who joined, every Chinese, all the people were like coming and joining us, came and this thing, all became an equal level. So that is what? When we break away from false ego. When we break away from false ego, we have no one to identify. We are not saying a lady, a China lady, I don't know whether she have taken a bath, whether nothing. The boys, the men, oh, we are having party, why we allow them? The boys came and won all the competition. We also never thought, oh, why aren't there not? We should encourage our devotees to win some prizes. Nothing. There is no I and mine. There's no devotee and non-devotee. So that's when I start to realize, how wonderful, when a person break away from that false ego identification. False ego identification. We don't care. People are looking at us, we were dancing and singing, we're having a wampa, we're having a mridanga. So when we engage all our senses and all our mind and everything in devotional service, that is the real happiness. Because that devotional service is devoid of false identification, false ego. False ego. There's not even a competition of your prasadam tasty or my prasadam tasty. There's nothing like that also. Everybody just came in and have fun. Similarly, so that means he said that the eternal kingdom, which is never destroyed, can be approached by anyone who is not bewildered. The word bewildered, what is that bewildered means? Not bewildered means the one that not affected by this kind of identification. I'm an Indian, so I'm bewildered being an Indian. I'm a Chinese, I'm bewildered being a Chinese. I'm a Malaysian. No, there's no bewilderment. Okay? By what? By the attraction of the false material enjoyment. So that means we went and divided of all these false material enjoyment, and everything was fun. So that was the feeling that we had yesterday. So we situated, okay, so that means then after that, we situated in the service of the Supreme Lord. One so situated can easily approach that supreme abode. Right? So now let's start our today's session. So everywhere in Gita 8.21, it is stated, Avyaktukshara ityuktas tamahu paramangatim yang prapyana nivartante taddama paramang mama. Avyakta means unmanifested. All right. Avyakta means unmanifested. Unmanifested means what? The thing that doesn't exist. All right. Avyakta means unmanifested. Not even all the material world is manifested before us. Not even all of the material world is manifested before us. Our senses are so imperfect. Our senses are so imperfect that we cannot even see all the stars within the materialist universe. All right. So our senses are so imperfect that we can't even see all the stars in the material universe. All right. Even at night, we can't see ourselves. In the Vedic literature, we can receive much information. Where in the Vedic literature, we can receive much information about all the planets. And we can believe it or not believe it. All of the important planets are described in the Vedic literature, especially in Srimad Bhagavatam. All right. So in the spiritual world, which is beyond this material sky, okay, is described as avyakta or unmanifested. All right. So avyakta or unmanifested. That means that cannot be seen by our distinct. One should desire. So how to do that? So the only way that to this thing is this. So one should desire and hanker. That's a qualification. You should desire for it and you should hanker for it. After that supreme kingdom. For when one attains that kingdom, he does not have to return to this material world. All right. Just like sometimes when we are arrested, we stay behind the bar. All right. And when we are in the prison, so we'll be hankering. When am I going to go back? And how often you hanker? Every second, every moment in the prison, you'll be hankering. When will I be released from the thing? All right. So similarly to the Supreme Kingdom, what we should do, we should also have the same kind of feeling. So we should desire for it and we should hanker for it, for the Supreme Kingdom. Because you know why? Once you go there, you will never return to this material universe. All right. So now let's move. Then let's look at it. Next, one may raise the question. How one goes about approaching that abode, the supreme abode. Okay, now you're telling me this. Now the question is, how am I going to do it? So information also given in the 8th chapter. All right, how to do it? The information also given in the 8th state. Antakale chamang eva, mam eva, smaran muktva kalevaram, ya prayati samad bhavang, yatya nastyatra sangshayaha. And now, okay, this is very important. So now, what Krishna says, okay, and whoever, okay, and whoever, that means he doesn't give any specific person. He said, whoever at the end of his life, he quits his body. All right, when he quits his body, remembering me alone. Sometimes we think, yeah, just remember Krishna is so easy. Sometimes remember Krishna is so easy. So what's the big deal? Why I should have a lifetime of dedication to do that? I just need at the time of death, I just think of, oh, Krishna, 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 everything should be fine. All right. So you must understand, at that moment, it's going to be a very frustrating moment. It's a very, very frustrating moment. All right. How many times in your frustration you can remember Krishna? Think about it. Sometimes say like when you're going and suddenly you have a slip and fall down. Okay. Did you remember Krishna? Or sometimes when say like when you're traveling and suddenly one car suddenly overtake you and just do a danger, you almost bang. At that particular shock, your body shivering. Extreme shock. Can you remember Krishna? It is not that simple. All right. But here the word also it says, what is the word that we should also remember this by heart? Okay, please add on this in your what they call in your write down in your book. That means those who are, this is the term. Very, very, very important. Can you all see this? So what is that remembrance means? Remembrance means those who are conscious. Okay. So the word we should also add is conscious. Can you see the word conscious?
Yes, Prabhu can see.
Okay, yeah, correct. So those who are conscious. So we should always remember that. So remembering me means is you have to be conscious about him. Okay. So whoever at the end of life quits his body, and by being conscious of me alone, at once, that means at that particular moment attains my nature. Of these there is no doubt. So it's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita 8.5. So now one who thinks of Krishna at the time of death, thinks of Krishna at the time of death, goes to Krishna. So one must remember the form of Krishna. One must remember the form of Krishna. All right. So if he quits the body thinking of this form, he surely approach the spiritual kingdom. Now the question is, I want to ask you, how many of you can remember the form of Krishna? How many of you can remember the form of Krishna? Hmm? Can you all remember the form of Krishna? Don't remember?
Can Prabhu.
Okay, tell me, Mataji, what do you see at the feet of Krishna, lotus feet?
One leg is behind, one leg in front. There are so many ways to this. ரொம்ப
Yeah,
இருக்கு.
doesn't matter.
ஒரு கால் முன்னுக்கு இருக்கும், ஒரு கால் பின்னுக்கு இருக்கும், ஒரு கால் அப்புறம்
You're talking about Lord Chaitanya, is it? You're talking about who?
கிருஷ்ணா.
Krishna, okay.
So
All right. Then,
speak of feather. There are so many ways to describe Prabhu.
what is it?
Speak of feather, தலையில speak of feather இருக்கும்.
Okay.
அப்புறம்
படத்தை பார்த்து சொல்லாதீங்க கொஞ்சம்
இல்ல இல்ல Prabhu. அப்புறம் இது இயரிங்ஸ்லாம் இருக்கும்.
எப்படி இருக்கும்?
அப்படியே ஓட ஓட ஆடிக்கிட்டே போகும் அந்த இடம்.
அது என்ன 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 ஸ்டைல்ல இருக்கும்?
ஓவர் ஷேப்ல இருக்கும்.
Look like? Kundalam, right?
Yes, yes.
How the kundalam look like? Okay, never mind. They say shark form. Look like a shark. The kundalam look like shark. அப்புறம் வேற என்ன இருக்கு?
ஐஸ் லோட்டஸ் இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும் ஐஸ்.
அதுக்கு என்ன பேரு?
Lotus eye.
So in Sanskrit, what we call that? Pundrikaksham. Pundrikaksham, lotus eye. Okay, then what else? Really can remember or not, Mataji? How about others? Nandari, Mataji, Kesavan, Vaishnava Prabhu?
Prabhu is like this now. As you told earlier, Prabhu told that your condition is very difficult at that time. So much pain, choking, fear, and all that. So
Mhm.
instead of telling all these things that you think of, Krishna's name is more powerful, Prabhu.
Exactly. Exactly. That's answer. Krishna's name is the most powerful. You know, Krishna's name, because at that moment we cannot remember the form of Krishna. Because 5,000 years ago, people were having so much of strength, like what Parikshit Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj was just prepared for death. When after he was cursed, after this situation, then that's when Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken. He was not shaken at all. He was not shaken at all. He just sat there. He said, now, let the Tatatka snake come and attack me. I'm well ready. But now as we go into Kali Yuga, after that thing, we start to realize it's very hard for us to remember Krishna. Like for instance, the lotus feet, how the lotus feet looks like, how that feet, how the toes look like. The toes look like diamond, pearl. Then after that, when you look at the anklet, how the anklet looks like. Then slowly you come up, you look at the what they call the what is the muscle down there, the tricep, then the knee, below the knee, right? Then after that, the thighs, the hip, three banga form, bent in three ways, Then the sweet melody of what they call of the uh, what is the thing? Flute. He has three different types of raga. One raga to attract the cows. When he play one raga, all the cows will come. And also there's many ragas. When you want to call the head of the cow, he'll play one raga, the cow will come to him. Second raga is to attract the gopis. At night when he play, all the gopis will come running. Then another raga is to attract the gopals, something like that. So he attract all the living entities. Then after he had a Kastuba jewel, the Kastuba jewel. Then his neck looked like the conch, sangu, conch, right? Then after that, his face is like oval, no? Then he got a lips. The lips look like bimba. It's a kind of fruit. They call bimba fruit. Bimba fruit. His tooth looks like pearls, Then after that, his chin, then his eyes. The eyes looks like Pundarikaksham, the lotus petal. And the forehead, and the ears with kundala. And the kundala look like a shark form. Where do you know that? Namam Ishwaram Satchit Ananda Rupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashoda Biyoluka Ladavamanam Paramishtam Atyanta Todurtya Gopya. So in that song, it says the kundala look like the shark kundala. He will be running and the kundala will be sweating and all these kind of things. Right? And then after that, how? Then he got a hair, like a silken hair. And he has a turban. And above the turban, there is a, what they call? There is a, what do you call it? Feather, peacock feather. And his side glance, how the side glance look like. Side glance, how this thing all look like. All right. So all these are very important to remember. Because if you don't remember all these, you go there, you'll be wondering who's Krishna. The Krishna will be standing right, hey, it's me. Excuse me, can you show me where's Krishna? You'll be wondering, hey, I'm Krishna here. So it's like that. Okay. So anyway, therefore, so the same thing that we can find there, it is also is mentioned in Bhagavad, in what they call in Harinam, in our holy name. Okay, in our Nama Japa is there. But if you can't remember, it's okay. All right, how to remember? Like this verse says, what they call Antakali Chama Mam Eva, Smaran Muktva Kalevaram, Ya Prayati Samad Bhavam, Yati Nastyatra Sangshayaha. When you remember me at the time of death, in my form, you will come to me, there's no doubt about it. Right? But in order for you to remember that, you must engage in that devotional service. If you even forget, even if you forget at that time of moment, the moment of trauma, traumatizing moment, you tend to forget, no worries. Lord Shiva also guarantees that he'll come and utter the name of Ram or Krishna. He'll make you remember. Because among the Vaishnavas, Lord Shiva is the topmost. And he's very, very merciful when it comes to Vaishnava. But now, in order to get that mercy, what kind of Vaishnava I should be? Are you just like ordinary person who just like, you think, no, you must have certain standard, right? You must have certain standard, right? Say when a normal ordinary person met an accident or falls sick, rushed to the hospital. Okay, say like a normal ordinary person who have a heart attack, sent to the hospital, ER. And the VIP get a heart attack and sent to the hospital. How are they treated? The treatment procedure is same, right? They're going to like say they're going to do a bypass. They're going to cut open like Hanuman, take out and repair your heart, all right? But now there's a distinction between the ordinary person and the VIP. Ordinary person have to go to the ER, then have to call for the doctor in charge. The doctor will come, and the nurses all try to stabilize. They check. Oh, he's really got this thing, then immediately send him to the. But for a VIP, maybe they even flown in by helicopter. You go to IJN, your treatment is totally different because we are a VIP. Got it? So like that, in order for us to get the grace of Krishna, we have to be VIP, very important person. All right? Or very VID, we call VID, very important devotee. So what is the qualification of being that very important? That means we should have a certain kind of standard, certain kind of upgrade in our life. We should chant the Hare Krishna mantra minimum 16 times, no matter what. Even if you miss today, next day you have to cover it back. All right? Make a standard that every day you have already chanted 16 rounds. Okay, that's a minimum. But of course, I'm so excited to hear that devotees are doing 64 every day. 64 is fantastic. I just had that book. Oh my God. Yeah, it's in my another study place. Right. In that book, it says, you should chant Bhakta Bhakti Bhagavan. I think it's not here. You should, if possible, you should chant minimum 1 lakh. 64 rounds is a standard. All right. 1 lakh. But if you can't, just 16 is a standard because Prabhupada have given 16. But that 16, you have to do it very attentively. All right. So like that, so when we can perform our devotional service in that way, and that's when we can start to see our perfection. So it's very important. So it's like that. So, okay. So they say, whoever at the end of the life beats his body, remembering me alone, only me alone, no one else. All right. That's why sometimes, like when my father was leaving his body, I didn't allow my mother, my sisters all to come near. They said I'm very cruel. They said, that, but my mother understood. Mother understood. My sister was not there. No, my sister, but my aunt, my cousin sister, everyone was there around. When my father left his body, everyone was surrounded him. But I didn't allow anyone to come near, say something or touch him, because I don't want him to remember them at the final moment of life. That is how sometimes we need to train our children to be that thing, right? So what happened? I just went near. I just didn't allow him to think. I was keep speaking, do you remember the Hanuman that you worship? Because my father was so attached to Hanuman. That you every day you see in front, chant Ram, Ram. You make that beetle leaf, vettale, and you make the mala. You do that, do this, do that, do this, because my another sister-in-law, my cousin brother's wife was telling, time's up, because she's a doctor. She said, time's up. Okay, anytime. So I didn't let him think. Do you remember that? Do you remember that once, there's one Maharaj came to the house, Bhakti Vijayananda Maharaj. Do you know that once Narasingha Maharaj came to the house, that there you were asking one question, do you remember that you go to the temple, remember that you wave, your dance, when I became Hare Krishna devotee, remember you got very angry, do you remember that Radha Yatra when I asked you, his life left. Right? Because sometimes that's the thing. So sometimes when we allow them to come touch, oh, Papa, I miss you. Oh, Tata, I miss you. The wife, oh, husband, hubby, I miss you, I love you, I'm going to miss you. And he can start remember them. Because Krishna says at the end of the life, what is your remember? That is how you're going to attain. So it's such a dangerous thing to remember. Of these, there is no doubt, Prabhupada Krishna says, and there's no doubt about it somehow. Okay, one who thinks of Krishna at the time of his death goes to Krishna. One must remember the form of Krishna. Remember that, right? All right. So one must remember the form of Krishna. If he quits his body thinking of this form, he surely approaches the spiritual kingdom. All right. So I suggest that every one of you should start reading the book Krishna. All right. There's a book Krishna, the Supreme Personality. Everyone must read that book on a daily basis. That's a crown jewel. It's a crown jewel. That's why Prabhupada translated that book first. You must remember, I think it's around 15 chapters or something. If you don't have that book, you have the book here. There is a book, is also available in this, what they call, in this Veda base. Okay. Can you see the Veda base, all right? You can still see the Veda base. Can you see the new one? The Krishna, the Supreme Personality, got it. So this is a summary study of yesterday's Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, by His Divine A.C. Bhaktivedanta Pharamacharya. Can you see this? Haribol?
Yes, can see Prabhu.
Okay.
Yes,
So
Prabhu.
now, that's a total of how many chapters? Total of 90 chapters. All right. Chapter 90. Of course, it's a one book edition. So there's all the stories of here. Everything is here. The songs of Gopi. It is a very, 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 very powerful song. So it's a very powerful song. Of course, Prabhupada never gave the Sanskrit, but he gave that direct translation. My dear Krishna, you are life and soul, even of the lotus flower. Look at that. My dear Krishna, you are the life and soul, even of the lotus flower that grows on the water of lakes mid transparent by the clear rains of autumn. Although the lotus flower is so beautiful, without your glance, it will fade away. So like that. So this is a very beautiful book, the songs of the gopis, then you can see all that wonderful pastime. So by doing this, you'll remember Krishna, the advent of Lord Krishna. All right. So you see that all the okay. Let's see. How the Vasudev returned firstborn, so like that. So it's just like a novel. So prayers of the demigod is the Lord Krishna in the womb. When Krishna was in the womb, 6 babies. So like that. So we have to make a point. We have to make a point that we all study these books very distinct. Because when we study all these books, that's when you remember. Okay. So since we have time in between of our classes now, so maybe you can make this point to study this book Krishna. All right. But anyway, we have no worries actually, because we have surrendered to the holy name. We have surrendered to, we have agreed to become vegetarian. We are taking Krishna Prasadam. We are worshipping Tulasi. We are chanting 16 to 64 rounds. Everything is done. Good. You just need to complete this. You need to complete this program. All right. First, you are chanting Hare Krishna mantra. You have faith in that mantra. Now you have faith in Srila Prabhupada. You have accepted him as a Siksha Guru. You have faith. Right. Now you're so enthusiastic in attending all these classes and everything. All right. You are going to the temple and doing some kind of service. Done. Now you are taking prasadam, trying your best to reduce all the other habits and taking prasadam and everything. Fair enough. Now all these things are complete. To complete the dot, complete the circle, you need the last thing. That is to surrender to a spiritual master. That is the last thing. So those who have not surrendered to the spiritual master, those who think that you are following the 4 regulative principle very nicely, now it's time for you to consider accepting initiation, choosing a guru. Oh, how to choose a guru? Just go to that, whatever that, there's so many devotees are coming to Malaysia. Just see a devotee that you are so attracted to and you have accepted a guru. All right. So once you accept a guru, you are linked to the Paramara. That's a class that's going to start. I hope that all of you have registered with IBNA. What is Mandra Diksha? Okay, there's a session starting Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Malaysia time 8:30 in the morning. 8:30. So I hope that you all have registered yourself, and please join, and you'll get a clear picture. So we must remember that we need to complete the circle and surrender to a guru. Without the guru's mercy, there's no way you can go back home, back to Godhead. You can go up to the heavenly planet or whatever. But anyway, it's okay. I was talking to one devotee that day, asking about the process. What happened? A devotee who has not perfected his bhakti, right? See, a devotee who has perfected his bhakti, immediately will be taken by Garuda. Lord Vishnu Duttas will come and take the soul, go back home. But what happened to the devotee who have not perfected? Okay, they just try out. Okay, what happened to them? So they will be also be taken by Yamadutta, go to hellish planet. All right, scary, right? Even if you're not a good devotee, you still go to hell. But you go to hell, what do you see? All right, there's the two gates, Eastern Gate and Southern Gate in the hellish planet. Eastern Gate and Southern Gate. Okay, and Yamaraj has two character. One is Dharmaraj, second is Yamaraj. So you go there, you go to the Eastern Gate and see Yamaraj in the form of Dharmaraj. Or that means he's in the form of sober. Because the Yamaraj real name is Dharmaraj, the one who uplift the Dharma. So you go there, and what the Dharmaraj will do? Dharmaraj will take care, will receive and respectfully, and this thing, and he will prepare you another body. That means you don't suffer the hellish burning. Okay, you go there and take another body. And what you do, okay, now depends on which level you are. Maybe you are Kanishta. Maybe now is the step that you go to Kanishta, Madhyama Kanishta, or Uttama Kanishta. So whichever that according to your karma, according to your classification, and how Krishna decide, you take that body. So what do you do? Immediately you go back to the any couples who are going to conceive and this thing, you go into the womb. Okay, what happened that you don't get a body yet? You don't have a there's no person there that you're going to be born to. There's no one that you're going to born to. What are you going to happen? You're going to go into the sun planet. You know, in the rays, there's a lot of hidden. The rays, of course, is bright, blinding. You can't see the planet. So there is a spiritual planet in the sun rays, heaven. So you'll be stay there. You'll be stationed there, and you'll be stationed there, and you do Hari Katha, Hari Bhajan, Hari Kirtan, everything until another body is prepared. Another couple is getting married. They're going to do this thing. You will be sent into this kind of pure devotees body. Then you'll be born to them. So in hellish planet, there's Piturloka. Piturloka after the person tortures that soul, okay, and the soul is so sinful, they put in Piturloka. They don't have a gross body. They remain there in a subtle body waiting for body. Any kind of body they can get, even as a tree, as a plant, you know, they get so frustrated. Even if I born as a tree, also okay lah. As long as I got something gross. Because to live in subtle is so tough. That's why we're offering Pinda once a year. Because the thing is, we don't know that our forefather really have been liberated or not. You know, we are saying that we do all these rituals, but we don't know. Maybe my great grandfather is still living in a subtle body, is still stuck there waiting for gross body. Who knows, right? To get rid of that, they offer Thai Amavasya, the first year, this thing, or Thai Amavasya on this kind of thing, they offer. Because that day, they're just like the prisoners, sometimes once a year, they can go and they allow the visitors, they can take the food from the visitors. So like that. So you said that. So they get the gross this thing. But for devotees, they go to near the sun planet. Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj mentioned this. So go to the sun planet. Go to the sun planet. They stay in the sun planet and wait for next this thing. So they come to the rays of the sun, enters into the man and pregnant the wife. So for a devotee, it is all very secured. Okay. But if you want to go back to Godhead, you have to be diverted. You have to be guided. You need a a person to take you along. Okay, you have to take a person along. It reminds me about a story about my Guru Maharaj. You know, when he had a massive stroke, he met Prabhupada. Prabhupada brought him straight to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada and introduced, you know, Guru Maharaj, this is my disciple, Jayapataka. You know, then after that, I heard, then after that, it's a long story, I'm not sure. But anyway, then he came back. So like that, the spiritual master will take you, introduce, you know, this is my disciple. Like that, go through the parambara and you will be introduced to Radharani. Ah, you are the one, okay. So like that. So Guru is very important. Okay. So one must, okay. That means Mat Bhavam refers to the supreme nature of the supreme being. Mat Bhavam. Mat Bhavam. Mat Bhavam. The supreme being is Sachit Ananda Vigraha. That is, this form is eternal. The supreme being is Sachit Ananda Vigraha. Alright, Sachit Ananda Vigraha. That is, his form is eternal, full of knowledge and blissful. Our present body is not Sachit Ananda Vigraha. Our body is not Sachit Ananda Vigraha. Alright, it is Asat. Asat, not Sat. It is not eternal. It is perishable. It is not cheat. It doesn't have full of knowledge, but is full of ignorance. We have no knowledge of the spiritual kingdom, nor do we even have perfect knowledge of the material world. We don't even have a perfect knowledge of this material world, where there are so many things unknown to us. The body is also Nirananda. Instead of being full of bliss, it's full of misery, right? All of the miseries we experience in the material world arise from the body. But one who leaves this body thinking of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personal Godhead at once can attain the Sachit Ananda body. So how to do it? If you think that you're not really into that, you have to study Bhagavad Gita word by word. Because in Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 8 onwards, is going to be explained how that you can achieve the success. And through the process, also please study this book, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The process of quitting the body. Now, another thing, the process of quitting the body, how to die, and getting another body in the material world is also organized. It's also organized, right? A man dies after it has been decided what for, okay, that means like this, right? A man dies after it has been decided what form of body he will take in the next life. So what kind of body are you going to take in the next life? After that, the man dies. That's why sometimes when you see a person who are in coma for days, months and everything, that means the next body is not ready yet. So they have to still remain in this material body until the next body, right? So higher authorities, not the living entity himself, make this decision. According to our activities in this life, we either risk or sink. Now let's look at this. Either at our activity in this life, we either what? We either rise or sink. So it is whether you're going to rise in your life or whether you're going to sink in your life, it's entirely your own decision. This life is a preparation for the next life. If we can prepare, therefore, in this life to get promotion to the kingdom of God, then surely after quitting the material body, he will attain a spiritual body just like the Lord. All right? So that means it surely in this life get promotion to the kingdom of God. After quitting this material body, he will attain a spiritual body just like the Lord. So that means you're also going to have this just like the Lord means what? You're going to get a body Sachit Ananda Vigraha, eternal, full of knowledge and very blissful. Now our body now, it is not eternal asat. It is full of ignorance. Okay. And it's not blissful. It's full of disease. Right? So like that. So we have to think about it. That's why accepting a guru is very important. As I explained before, there is a different kinds of transcendentalists. There are different types of transcendentalists. One is Brahmavadi, Paramatmavadi, and the devotee. Okay. Now, so they explain there are different kinds of transcendentalists. First is called the Brahmavadi, right? Then the second floor is what we call Paramatmavadi, right? And the third one is a devotee. Okay, there's a three types of devotee. And as mentioned here, Okay. And as mentioned, in the Brahma Jyoti spiritual sky, okay, the Brahma Jyoti or the spiritual sky, there are innumerable spiritual planets. There is so many spiritual planets, or we call as Vaikuntha. The number of these planets as far as greater, that means the number of these planets is far, far greater than all the planets in the material world. So that means the number, it is far, far, far greater than all the planets in the material world. How many planets we have? It's even far, far greater. This material world has been approximately as only 1/4 of certain creation. What does that mean? All right. See, the material world is considered, all right. Prabhupada is saying that the material, what they call, the material world, okay, the material world has approximately only 1/4 of the creation. Okay, 1/4 of the creation. So that means this material nature is 1/4 of the creation. And in that 1/4 means what? Okay, just like this. Okay, so this is a right. So hope my drawing okay. Right, this is the 1/4. So that means this material creation is just a 1/4 of the creation. Out of the 3/4, only 1/4. But this 1/4 of creation, it has innumerable universes. In Devi Dham, because when you see, after that place of Karnadaksha Vishnu, after studying a Rama Devi and creating all these kind of things, and this thing, and this 1/4 is the place where you can find innumerable universes. Okay, you see innumerable universes. There's see one dot is one universe that we are living in, right? Right. This one dot is actually one universe. We are not even talking about Earth. So here, and millions and millions and millions and trillions of universes are available here in this 1/4. Small, big, you know, and the one that creates, so like that, it's millions of universe, right? So with trillions of planets, Prabhupada used the word trillions. Okay, so now let's look at this. Okay, now what happened? Okay, so ekam shena stito jagat. Ekam shena stito jagat. What of the creation? These material segment, there are many millions, billions of universe with trillions of planets and suns, stars, and more. That means this one segment of this material universe, there are millions and billions and trillions of universes. There are so many universes. So we are one of it. And there has trillions of planets, suns, stars, and more. But this whole material creation is only a fragment of total creation. The whole, this thing looks so big, is only a fragment of the total creation. Most of the creation in the spiritual sky, okay, most of the creation is in the spiritual sky. One who desire to merge into the existence of super soul, advance transfer to Brahma Jyoti. Okay, those who want to merge into that, they go into Brahma Jyoti and attain spiritual sky. The devotee who wants to enjoy the association of the Lord, okay, those who want to enjoy the association of the Lord enters into the Vaikuntha planet, which is innumerable. And the Supreme Lord, by his plenary expansion Narayana, with 4 hands. That means the Supreme Lord with the plenary expansion Narayana, with 4 hands and with different names like Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Govinda, associates with him there. There, at the end of life, the transit, okay? So therefore, at the end of the life, the transcendentalists think either the Brahma Jyoti or Paramatma or the Supreme Person of God is Sri Krishna. In all cases, they enter into the spiritual sky. But only the devotee, or is in the personal touch or the Supreme enters into the Vaikuntha planet or Goloka Vrindavan planet. Right? So all the others are some or other they go to like a heavenly planet, they merge into the light and all these things. But only devotees, right, will go into Vaikuntha planet and also Goloka planet. All right. So, or that means only and Paramatma, the Supreme Lord, personally got it, Krishna. In all cases, they enter into spiritual, but only the devotee or who is in personal touch with the Supreme Lord enters into the Vaikuntha or Goloka Vrindavan planet. The Lord further adds, of these there is no doubt. All right. So what Prabhupada is explaining here, the word there is no doubt, we should, these must be believed firmly. We should firmly believe in this statement. Okay, we must strongly and firmly believe in the statement of what they call of Srila Prabhupada. Okay, we should not doubt it. Is it really true or not? Okay, because Krishna is giving here assurance. Okay, we should not reject which does not tally with our imagination. Prabhupada is explaining we should not reject something that doesn't ngam with our imagination. Our attitude should be that of Arjuna. I believe everything that you have said, Arjuna said. Therefore, when the Lord says that at the time of death, whoever takes him as Brahman or Paramatma or as the personality of Godhead certainly enters into the spiritual sky. There's no doubt about it. There is no question of disbelieving it. Okay, even Brahma Jyoti is also spiritual, but there it is not permanent. The Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavad Gita 8.6. Okay, Bhagavad Gita 8.6 also explained the general principle that make it possible to enter a spiritual kingdom simply by thinking the Supreme at the time of death. Yang vapi smaran bhavang tyajatyante kalevaram tang tam evaiti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha. Whatever state, remember, whatever state, okay, let's go. So whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his present body, in his next he will attain to that state without fail. Now we must understand that material nature is display of one of the energy of the Supreme Lord. In the Vishnu Purana 6.7.61, the total energy of the Supreme Lord are delineated. Vishnu Shakti Para Prokta Kshetra Nyakya Tata Para Avidya Karma Sanyanya Tritiya Shaktir Ishyate. The Supreme Lord has diverse and innumerable energy which are beyond our conception. However, great learned sages and liberated souls have studied this energy and have analyzed them into three parts. All the energies are Vishnu Shakti. Everything is Vishnu Shakti. That is to say, they are different potency of Lord Vishnu. The first energy is Para, or transcendental. Living entity also belong to the superior energy, as already been explained. The other energy of the material energy is called the mode of ignorance. At the time of death, either we can remain in inferior energy of this material world, or we can transfer into energy of the spiritual world. Okay. All right. Now it's 10 o'clock. Shall we just take a short break? Okay. It's too much of information, I think. So now it's 10 o'clock. We just take a short break and we continue. Hare Krishna. Oh my God, you can't hear me, is it? Are you?
Yeah, from just now cannot hear you, Prabhu.
Yeah, you should have told me lah, not message. Okay. நான் என்னமோ பேசிட்டு இருந்தேன். All right. Okay. So, okay. Never. Anyway, I repeat that whatever state a being one remembers when he quits his present body, in his next life, he will attain to the state without fail. So that means whatever state being remember. So we have to be very, very careful when he quits his present body. That's why we should always engage in our devotional service. Like for instance, say like for instance, when you're young, you studied, then you're married, you work hard, you balance your life, you're working hard, you're working for money, you are taking care of the family, and you're practicing sadhana bhakti, you're balancing up all these three things. So as you get older, your children all grown up, when they start to have their own family, right? So now is the time for you to retire. No, you should retire timely. uh, not to get stuck with grandchildren and take care of them, and because your children will take care. As how you took care of your children, they will know how to look after their own children. So it's a time for you to retire. So retire, not stay in Malaysia, but also best is if you can go to Vraja, right? So if you can go to these kind of holy places, your husband and wife or whatever, go to all the holy dham. It's mentioned in Nectar of Instruction, right? Go to holy dham, associate with a pure devotee, so like that. So make a point, because now I think that the flight ticket is not so expensive, right? I think few hundred, I think less than 1,000 you can go and come back. So you can choose I think there's a direct flight to Jagannath Puri, if I'm not mistaken, Calcutta. So you can go to Mayapur. So like that, you must always think of go to this kind of holy dham and associate with devotees and chant your Mahamantra and get yourself absorbed in that holy dham. Like yesterday, I saw one person, they all devotees are sitting there for 35 years in Vrindavan, like Dina Bandhu Prabhu, 35 years, never came out of Vrindavan. I don't know how they do that, 35 years. No, I think he come back just to renew and go back or something like that. Because one time you get Indian visa, I think you get 5 years, right? If I'm not mistaken, 5 years visa. So one should take 5 years, stay there. When the thing about to expire, come back and get renewed, go back. So something like that, I'm not sure how they do it. So to remember Krishna, apart, even Krishna is so beautiful, Krishna is so attractive, Krishna is so pleasurable, but still our mind cannot remember him. We want to remember something which is opposite of Krishna. When we can remember Krishna, that we can see Krishna's beauty, Krishna's pastime, but we try to remember that how our children like running around, these kind of things. Very, very hard. Is my background noisy?
No, Prabhu.
Oh no, okay, good. Okay, the sound suppression. So they are cutting grass there. Right. So like that. Okay. So then let's say we should remember, because in the next life you will attain that state without fail. You must be very, very careful. Even you go to Vrindavan, Vraja, Mayapur, you start to perform your sadhana bhakti there. Even if you cannot remember Krishna, but you can remember the Dham. You can remember the temple. You can remember Vrajavasi. You can remember Vrindavan. At least that's advantage. Right? So that's why he says. Prabhupada also says, young time work, old time work hard when you're young, and go samadhi when you're old. Samadhi means it's not like that. That's samadhi. Samadhi means that you're going to fully engage in sing in Vrindavan. Okay. In life, we are accustomed to thinking either of the material or the spiritual energy. Okay. In life, we are accustomed to thinking either of the material or the spiritual energy. Now, how can we transfer our thoughts from material to spiritual? There are so many literatures full of our thoughts with material energy, newspaper, magazine, novels, etc. Our thinking, which is now absorbed in this literature, must be transferred to Vedic literature. So all the things that we are reading in the newspaper, all we have to change into spiritual. The great sages, therefore, have written so many Vedic literature, such as Purana. The Purana is not imaginative. They are historical record. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 20.122, there is a following verse. Maya Mugda Jivera Nahi Swata Krishna Jnana Jivera Kripaya Kaila Krishna Veda Purana. The forgetful living entities of conditioned soul have forgotten their relationship with the Supreme Lord, and they are engrossed in thinking of material activity. They are engrossed thinking of the material activity. Just to transfer the thinking power to the original spiritual sky, Krishna and Dvaipayana Vyasa have given a great number of Vedic literature. Just to transfer the belief, remembrance. First, he divided the Vedas into four. Then he explained them in Puranas. And for less capable people, he wrote Mahabharata. All right, those who are less intelligent, they wrote Mahabharata. In the Mahabharata, there is a given of Bhagavad Gita. Then the Vedic literature is summarized in the Vedanta Sutra. All right. So, Vedanta, and for future guidance, he gave a natural commentation on the Vedanta Sutra called Srimad Bhagavatam. We must always engage our mind in reading the Vedic literature, just as materialists engage their mind in reading newspaper, magazine, and so many materialistic literature. We must transfer our reading to those literature which are given to us by Vyasadeva. In that way, it all possible. Okay, please give me a second. That way, it will be possible for us to remember the Supreme Lord at the time of death. That is only one suggestion by the Lord, and he guarantees the result. There's no doubt. Tasmat Anush, okay? Tasmat Sarvesu Kaleshu Mam Anushmara Yuddhacha Mayar Pita Manobuddhir Mam Evashya Shangshayaha. Therefore, Arjuna, you should think always in the form of Krishna. At the time of continue your prescribed duty, you're fighting. With your activity dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me, and there's no doubt. So that's the thing. In 8.7, Krishna gives Tasmat Sarvesu. Okay. So he gives that assurance. Okay. Okay, we got another few more pages to finish. So I think my background, is it okay or not? Very noisy here. You all can hear the grass cutting?
I don't hear anything, Prabhu.
Huh?
I don't hear any noise.
Really, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, it's so noisy, I can't even read, sing. Okay, never mind. What we do, we stop here for today. All right? And we continue tomorrow on this, he does not advise Arjuna. We continue tomorrow, page 25, the last paragraph. Okay, we got another 5 more pages to go to complete this this thing. So, but we have another 3 more days. All right. So, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. So we see again tomorrow at 9 o'clock, and we continue our discussion. Okay. So because I think I can't take any questions because it's very noisy here, right? So till then, have a nice day. We meet again tomorrow, and we will have more discussion. Okay. Till then, Vancha Kalpatruvescha, Kripa Sindhubevacha, Paditanam Pavinibhi Vaishnabhi Namo Namah. Hare Krishna. Have a nice day. Bye.